It's about to be cut off because I took my credit card off because I found out that Towanda has been using my credit card to pay her phone bill.
My phone?
Y'all, when I tell you the Braxton family drama just went from reality TV to federal crime, I need you to sit down for this one. Because what we're about to get into, this ain't just sister drama anymore. This is FBI raids, bankruptcy fraud, hidden assets, and the possibility that Tamar Braxton might have actually turned her own sister into the feds. Now I know what you're thinking. Not the Braxtons, not the family that gave us all those iconic moments on TV, but baby, buckle up, because this story has more twists than a Toni Braxton ballad, and every single detail is more shocking than the last. Let's get into it. So first things first, Towanda Braxton's name is officially on the FBI's radar. And we're not talking about a little audit or a slap on the wrist. No, no, no. According to sources coming out of FBI Atlanta, Towanda's bankruptcy case isn't being treated as just financial mismanagement. They're investigating this as potential bankruptcy fraud. Now hold up, because that's a whole different level. New documents have been revealed that show unreported income and property transfers that Towanda allegedly never disclosed during her bankruptcy filing. And here's where it gets messy. Social media immediately started speculating that Tamar Braxton may have been the one who tipped off the feds. And honestly, the timing looked real suspicious. Let me take you back to the moment this whole thing blew up online. Fans started pointing out that Tamar wasn't just being dramatic when she was going off about Towanda, because guess what? Towanda actually listed Tamar as a creditor in her bankruptcy filing. And baby, when that post went viral overnight, the receipts were all the way out. Towanda claimed she owed Tamar $35,000. Now, Towanda tried to say it was a gift, but here's the problem with that. If you falsely declare something as a gift when it's actually a loan in a bankruptcy case, that could be a violation under 18 U.S.C. 152, which is federal bankruptcy fraud. So that one little declaration could have opened the door to a whole federal investigation. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting. The FBI warrant included Towanda's Georgia property, the same house that she allegedly transferred into her husband's name. And y'all, this wasn't just any house. This was the same property that Tamar paid the down payment on, and it was all caught on camera on Braxton Family Values. Do you remember that moment? Tamar literally said on TV, and I quote, "I know where you live because I paid the down payment. At the time, we all thought it was just Tamar being petty and messy. But now that line is looking like straight up evidence in a federal fraud case."
You live because I put down your down payment.
You sure did. Thank you so much for
And
that.
now that
Thank
you
you
got
so
this
much for the
accident,
gift.
give me my money back. That was not a
Promise
gift.
to God. Yes, it was. But it's
no,
okay.
you didn't.
So fans are now realizing that Tamar's iconic read wasn't just drama, it was evidence. And apparently, the FBI thought so too, because they subpoenaed credit line records linked to that exact address. And that's how they discovered what's being called the phone bill fraud. According to the investigation, there were recurring charges under Tamar's name, and fans are now accusing Towanda of paying for 6 phone lines for 4 years using Tamar's credit. Baby, when I tell you this case went from family drama to full-on financial crime, I mean it. The FBI is literally connecting reality TV footage to real fraud. Now, if you thought this was Towanda's first run-in with the law, think again. Because it turns out Towanda was arrested all the way back in 2005 for forgery and theft by receiving in Atlanta. Now, those charges mysteriously vanished, but apparently the FBI didn't forget. And now those old charges are being looked at as part of a pattern of behavior. Here's the million-dollar question everybody's asking. Did Tamar actually report her own sister to the FBI? Because somebody had to hand over those 2019 bank statements. And when Tamar's name started trending right alongside the words FBI witness, the internet went absolutely wild. People are debating whether this was revenge or self-protection. Some folks are saying Tamar had every right to protect her finances and her name. Others are calling it the ultimate betrayal. But either way, the fact that Tamar's name keeps coming up in connection with this investigation, that's not a coincidence. And it gets worse because whispers are now coming out that Towanda allegedly involved both Tamar and Toni in this mess without their consent. Tamar had posted some cryptic tweets that she quickly deleted just days before the audit hit. And TMZ had already confirmed back in 2019 that there was a $35,000 dispute between the sisters. So that whole loan versus gift confusion, that became the core of the FBI's fraud case. And now both Tamar and Toni are being dragged into a federal investigation that they may have had nothing to do with. But Tamar wasn't playing games, because her attorneys came through with proof. They provided payment transfer records showing money going directly from Tamar to Towanda's escrow account for that house. So that viral line, "I know where you live because I paid the down payment," wasn't just shade. It was literal, documented evidence. And here's the kicker. Soon after all this started coming to light, Towanda transferred the house into her husband's name. Now the feds are treating that as concealment of property in the middle of an active case, which is a whole other charge. Now let me take you to another resurfaced clip from Braxton Family Values that has everybody talking. In this scene, Tamar confronts Towanda about a cease and desist letter. And Tamar says clear as day, "You've been stealing from me for years." And Towanda, she clapped back with, "Girl, you stole Tony's man."
You steal.
Stealing and helping?
But what you steal?
I don't steal anything.
You don't?
What I stole?
You stole men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's.
baby, when I tell you the internet exploded. Because now there are rumors swirling that Tamar was allegedly involved with Tony's ex-husband and Jermaine Dupri's father. So what started as a story about debt and fraud suddenly shifted into betrayal, messy relationships, and family secrets coming to light. So here's what's wild. Reality show receipts could now actually serve as evidence in a federal fraud case. Insiders are saying that Tamar didn't directly report Towanda to the FBI, but she did cooperate fully with federal investigators when they came knocking. And honestly, even if she didn't make the first call, her cooperation is enough to make fans believe she played a major role in all of this. And Tamar herself has admitted in the past, the Braxtons only come together when cameras roll. Off camera, it's war.
Supposed to say anything. The only thing that brings us together is the cameras.
And now, every single old argument, every petty fight, every shady comment, it all looks like breadcrumbs leading to this moment. Fans are convinced that Tamar cooperated with the FBI to protect herself and her finances, even if it meant exposing her own sister. But wait, there's more. Tony Braxton's former assistant Zoe came out and accused Towanda of stealing their mother Evelyn's SSI check. He called Towanda evil and thirsty and said this wasn't new behavior. And now, with this new FBI probe, people are starting to see this as part of a pattern, not just a one-time mistake. Now, the Braxton family's financial struggles have always been part of the storyline on their reality show. But this time, it's not just drama for the cameras. This is federal fraud. This is serious. And Tony has already started distancing herself. She even canceled Towanda's event on air, making it clear she wanted no part of whatever was going on.
I can't wait to see it.
I won't be able to be there, but that's why I was calling you.
That made me very sad.
I know.
And speaking of distance, fans noticed that both Tony and Trina have been eerily silent on social media. They're not commenting, they're not defending, they're not posting, and people believe it's because they're trying to protect their own names and finances from getting dragged into this mess. The internet has been calling out the Braxtons for preaching loyalty while choosing money when it really counted. Let's talk numbers for a second, because this is where it gets really messy. According to court filings, Towanda listed $277,000 in assets and $547,000 in liabilities. But here's the problem. She's driving around in a $50,000 Tesla while claiming she only has $150 in her bank account if she's found guilty of falsifying financial disclosures. She could be looking at up to 5 years in federal prison. And that's not including any other charges that might come from the concealed assets or the property transfers. Now, Tamar still hasn't commented officially on any of this. And her silence? Baby, that silence is loud. Fans are saying the truth speaks for itself. And if Tamar really did hand over evidence to the FBI, this could go down as the biggest betrayal in reality TV history. Like, this is beyond petty drama. This is federal cooperation against your own blood. But it doesn't stop there. The FBI allegedly froze Towanda's business accounts after investigators discovered that revenue from her skincare line was being routed through a consultancy firm registered under her husband's name. And that's being treated as intent to conceal assets. So it's not just about what she didn't report, it's about what she actively tried to hide. And Tony? She's been quietly removing herself from the situation. She withdrew her name from joint Braxton business ventures. She and Tamar both skipped Towanda's Bridgerton-themed bridal shower, which was a clear sign that the distance had already started.
Remember Tony said she was going to do the bridal shower? Mm-hmm. She's not doing the bridal shower. Somebody else is making sure everything is right for the bridal shower. I mean, I just thought that everybody would be, you know what I'm saying, happy and excited and wanting to be a part of it and want to be involved, but I'm not getting any of that, and that makes me sad.
Yeah.
And around that same time, the IRS issued back tax warnings on Towanda's accounts. So the red flags were everywhere. So here we are, the Braxtons, a family that was once the symbol of Black excellence, sisterhood, talent, and unity, are now facing federal fraud charges, family betrayal, and a legacy that's crumbling from the inside out. Insiders are now claiming that Towanda may take a plea deal. And if she does, she might end up exposing even more people. And if Tamar or Tony's names show up in any financial documents tied to this case, they could be next in line for FBI questioning. So let me ask you this. Was Tamar wrong for protecting herself? Or did she cross a line by cooperating with the feds against her own sister? Is Towanda the victim of a family takedown? Or did she bring this on herself with years of shady financial moves? And is the Braxton family legacy strong enough to survive this? Or is this the beginning of the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because baby, this story is far from over. And trust me, we'll be watching every single update as it unfolds.